Hello, statisticians. I hope everybody is staying healthy, staying inside. I hope everybody has enough toilet paper and hand sanitizer. But welcome back to your online course. This video is here to be a tour through the different parts of what we're going to be doing as the semester goes on in this new way of doing things. Um, so where I am right now is the front page of regular Canvas for our course. Um, and there's still the link to the Dropbox material, which has some stuff in it, like the syllabus. Uh, there's also the WileyPLUS for homework assignments, and actually a lot more is going to be on WileyPLUS. So all of the stuff I'm going to be talking about is outlined here on the front page of our regular Pierce College Canvas site. Uh, but I'm going to go over some of the details so it can be a little bit more of a visual thing to help you guide you through it. So let's see. The course is mostly going to be on WileyPLUS now. WileyPLUS is just a good platform for this stuff, and it already has a lot of resources built in there. So I'm still not using Pierce College for much, the Pierce College Canvas for much. But so if you go to WileyPLUS and you go to the home page on the front here, you'll see the recent announcements. Where that's going to be, and then there's also the modules below that. Oh, give me a break. And we're back. I moved my router over to get better reception outside. Uh, I'm recording this because my wife is doing a Zoom meeting inside. So, yeah, so weird workflow we got to deal with. So, anyways, let's see. So, yeah, here we are in WileyPLUS. The home page has announcements here, and then below that is the modules. Remember, the modules used to be just under the module section, but I made it so the home page and modules now show the same thing. I'm not going to risk clicking something in case my bad internet connection doesn't load it right now. So, a word about the modules. You'll notice this one says confidence intervals. Your online course is what it says there, but it's cut off on my screen. The your online course means this is the stuff for you to do. I just put this stuff all together for chapter 3. I'll explain what all the stuff is in a bit. But first thing, I want to point out that there's a bunch of other things called Wiley resource libraries. And what the Wiley resource libraries are is the stuff that was in modules before. This is where if you click on this, you get all of this content, like a link to the textbook, a bunch of videos that were made, the interactive videos I got from here. There's a bunch of extra practice problems, like just a few extra practice problems per section that you can do that are all good stuff. So all of that stuff was so good, I didn't want to like delete it or hide it from you because I want you guys to be going here. Like here's the chapter 3 Wiley Resources Library. If so, this is a good place to go if you need extra help or you want to do more, like just get more good content. This is where to go. But my chapter 3 confidence intervals is called your online course. The Wiley Resources Library is just where there's all of the stuff, the extra stuff that you can do. So if we go back up to the top where I put the your online course stuff, you see there's a link to this thing, Understanding and Interpreting Confidence Intervals. Section 3.2 has an interactive video. So if we go over here and click that, it's just a little page. Maybe it's going to load it. Yes. Okay. It's just a little page where there's a link to the video and then some other links to some other stuff where I'm basically just saying this is probably the way you should be like getting your lecture. So I'm going to click on that and you'll see that it takes you to this video that it looks like is loading. So this is the interactive lecture for section 3.2. You'll watch it, click play, and there's
in this video lesson,
places where everywhere you see one of these little dots, is a place where there's a little quiz, like a clicker question that you can answer to make sure you're getting it as you're going. And as you're doing these interactive lecture video things, it's a really good idea that whenever there's something you don't understand, to pause it and open your textbook to a section about the thing you didn't get. Or you could watch these during the online office hours, which I'll get to in a minute, where you can pause it here and then like pop on over to Confer Zoom over here that I'll explain in a minute and ask me that question about something you didn't understand. Or just go back and maybe take some time and read it again. You might get it a little bit better. Maybe these go pretty fast. It's only 20 minutes for the whole section. So this is something I would have been covering in a lecture slash activity thing in class that would be like an hour long. So it does go a little bit on the quick side. But that's probably good for some people who thought the lecture was too slow. But for other people, you might need to pause it and go back and have things repeated. And go back to old sections where you might not be understanding the prerequisite stuffs, like maybe section 3.1 is required you need to understand 3.1 to really be able to get 3.2. So you might need to go back and review 3.1 if there's a term you don't see. So anyways, that's the videos. Then after the video, like after you get through that and you feel like you understand it okay, you can go to the quiz here. The quiz is a set of like 4 questions, 4 pretty quick questions that are about the basics of what you watched in the video. And you can do this is open book. Open notes are allowed. You're not allowed to talk about it with other people, though. You have to do it yourself. And you do only get one chance at it. It is like a real quiz. So make sure that you're getting it right because you're not going to get a second chance at it. But it's only 4 points, but this is just my way of checking up that you're actually watching the videos and getting the stuff. And these are going to be due at 12 noon, 12 p.m. every day that we have class. Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday. And you might be saying, wait, my class is Monday, Wednesday. Or you might be saying, wait, my class is Tuesday, Thursday. Well, what I'm doing here is I'm going to basically make everybody on a Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday class. And if you want to just work on Monday and Wednesday, that's okay. You are allowed to only work on Monday and Wednesday. Or same thing with Tuesday, Thursday. You'll just be working like a day ahead, which is fine. And I'm doing this sort of partially to make it simpler for me so I don't have to deal with the separate due dates and who's in what class. It makes it a lot simpler for me, actually. And it's also kind of to make it simpler for you. Now that all of your courses are online, probably most of your teachers probably aren't like requiring you to be on Confer Zoom during the class meetings. So if you were in my Monday, Wednesday class, and you had a different class on Tuesday, Thursday, the other teacher's probably doing the same thing. So basically, you need to be working on 3 or 4 sections a week. So the first one is due March 30th, which is Monday. Then 3.3 is also going to be due March 30th. But then Tuesday is a holiday, so the next quiz for 3.4 is actually going to be on Wednesday. So the basic idea is that it's not set up completely yet. I still need to do 3.4 and then the chapter 4, chapter 5 stuff. But there's going to be due dates for these quizzes every Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday. And if you just want to work 2 days a week, that's okay. You can work a day or 2 ahead. And just do your 2-day-a-week schedule the same way you were doing before. Okay, so then after that, there's also the homework here. The homework is a link to the same kind of WileyPLUS homework assignments we had before. So that's the 3.2 homework. Then, and you have a week after this to work on this, because some of these questions are extra tricky. You might need to get help on them. So I'm giving you a week to do the homework, just like before. So then after you do the 3.2 quiz, you can do the 3.3 video, and then there's the 3.3 quiz that's about that video. Uh, then there's all I need to add in 3.4 here, like I said, that's going to show up tomorrow at some point. There's also this chapter 3 discussion here. Let me show you what that looks like. The discussion is a place where you can ask and answer questions, and you are actually required to ask and answer questions. So I'll let you read the details, but basically, for every section, you'll have to either ask a couple questions or answer a couple questions. There's also an opportunity for extra credit if your answers are like especially well written out with lots of details, or you could even make a YouTube video. But I'll let you read these details later. But everybody's going to be required to ask and answer some questions, and this is a really important part of the class, I should say. Talking to other people about what you're learning is crucial for helping it to sink in for a long time, so you don't just forget it after a week or a day. Um, and especially if you're not understanding something, uh, putting what you don't understand into words is a really good way to figure it out. You might find out that by just describing what you don't understand and like looking up the terminology so that you can explain yourself clearly, you might figure it out. And if not, then you're setting yourself up to get your question answered in a clear and concise way. And it will the more you think about communicating with other people, the more you learn about anything. So this is a really key part of the class. So it's kind of worth a lot of points. 12 points for chapter 3. And then let's see. Let's go back here to the regular old Pierce College Canvas, which you can tell by the red stuff instead of everything being blue like it is at WileyPLUS. So let's see. Confer Zoom is where the office hours are going to be. This is what Confer Zoom looks like. It's going to have, for every day the office hours are, it's going to be from 10:30 to 11:30 every Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday. Tuesday's officially a holiday, but if you need to get help on Tuesday, I'm happy to make an extra appointment here for you. All you need to do is just click on this link that shows up here, and it will take you to Zoom. It might help to have the Zoom app installed on your computer. You'll get like a lot more options that way. Otherwise, it will just take you, I think, to a web version of this. So I recommend installing the Zoom app. And then whatever day it is, like if it's tomorrow, or Monday, or today, whenever you're watching this, click on this link to join there. And I'll be there, and some other students will be there. That's a good place to ask questions about the videos you're watching or about the quiz questions. You can always ask me and I'll give you a hint. I probably won't answer the question, but I'll tell you where you can find the answer at least. You could also ask homework questions here. You could always just work on the math during this time. I recommend spending 10:30 to 11:30 every day if you can, working on statistics in one way or another so that you can come in there and ask questions when you need it. You can also just hang out there and chat with people about whatever, because everybody's lonely in their house, quarantined, and it might make you feel kind of like you're in school again. Maybe you'll find some of your old friends there in office hours. There's also the chat thing here is basically for the same reason. So if it's not during office hours and you think other people might be working on stuff or I might be there, you can click on the chat thing, and it looks like my internet connection is dying again. I'm gonna hold up my computer to help maybe. Anyways, you can chat in here. Oh, that actually helped. I just needed 1 foot of vertical to get my internet signal. Okay, so you can type in here. And if you ask and answer good questions here, I'm gonna go through this when I'm grading the discussions and give you points for this too. All right, so that's pretty much all that is gonna be on Canvas. Let me go back to the home page really quick to go through this outline. Oh, I still have it here. So I already went over this stuff. I went over the graded discussion forum. There's going to be section quizzes. Oh yeah, here's a big important change. Homework is now going to count for 25% of your grade instead of 15% like it was before. So I'm making homework worth 10% more. The reason is that there's more stuff now that you're required to be doing. So there's the quizzes that are sort of like part of the lecture. That now count for homework points. There's the discussions that are something we did in class before as well. That's going to count for homework points too. So homework is a bigger part of everything now. So that's worth more. And the final exam is likewise going to be worth 10% less to make up for that. All right, midterm exams are going to be online. They're going to be, I think, on WileyPLUS. The next one is going to be after we're done with Chapter 4. There's going to be a test on chapters 3 and 4 in probably about 2.5 or 3 weeks from now. They will be open book tests, but you are not allowed to get any help from humans or communicate with other students about the questions, and you'll be on the honor system there. So don't be the asshat who talks to your friends about the questions, please. Okay, so the final exam is going to probably be online using Proctorio, but who knows, by the beginning of June we might be able to go back to school and have an in-person final exam. But what Proctorio is this program where you download it and they have some kind of army of proctors who watch you take the test through a webcam, or at least like keep half an eye on you, or at least maybe they're watching, and they ask you to like point your webcam around the room, and if anybody else is like in the frame, or there's like a photo, like your phone is there, then they'll like give me a message about it so I can see what happened. So we might be able to take exams at Pierce by then, hopefully, so we don't have to do that Proctorio stuff for the final. So the Google Calendar, this last thing here, will no longer be used. Instead, use the outline in WileyPLUS modules to see what you should be doing. So again, I'm just going to go through the main idea here. Look at the modules, see what due dates are coming up. You can also see due dates in the calendar. The quiz, you should be doing the quizzes right after you watch the video, and then the homework you have a week for that. So watch the video, take the quiz, then take your time on the homework, then watch the next video, take the next quiz, then take your time on that homework. And I still have to put up 3.4 and chapter 4 stuff, but that's the way it's going to go. Now, just before we go, I have some tips for taking online classes. The first thing is it's just as much work as a regular class. The difference is that you're not required to be in there for that 4 hours per week that it is in class. You're going to have to put in that time for learning the materials yourself. So plan on spending at least 4 hours each week just on learning the material. That's in addition to whatever time you spend on the homework. So this includes watching the basic lecture, pausing. It may also include, also taking the quizzes in there, which should be really quick. You might need to watch other resources, watch other videos in the resources in the Wiley Resources Library module. You might need to read the textbook. You might need to do some extra problems, ask or answer questions in the discussion forums. All in all, it should take at least an hour per section. So something like 4 hours a week. Some sections you might spend 2 hours. Remember, some of the sections we spent 2 hours on in class, so you're going to need to do that too. And this is tough because, like I said a few weeks ago, you're at home. I don't know if you've been snacking as much as I have, but it's tempting to take all these little breaks. You got your Instagram in the next window, you're chatting with your friends. You might not be focusing on it as much as you do in class. So still take breaks here and there, but keep in mind that a lot of little breaks adds up over time. But, keep your sanity. If you're zoning out, then take a stretching break, take a bathroom break, take a snack. But it does take some discipline. And I think the best way to keep that discipline is just to maintain a regular study schedule. Have some time, like blocks of time, each weekday morning, every Monday morning, Tuesday one morning, Wednesday morning, Thursday morning. Or you might do it just 2 of those days a week and do the stuff ahead a day. That's fine too. Um, and the it should add up to at least 4 hours of time for the the learning the material, like I said, plus another 4 or 8 hours of time for the homework and studying. Um, so yeah, these blocks of time should hopefully overlap with the office hours so you can get help. Hopefully every day during office hours, or at least 2 days a week during office hours, you are working uh, on homework, and you can pop in to Confer Zoom there to ask me for help. Uh, so yeah, this thing about maintaining a schedule, I should say, this is just good advice, I think, in general during this quarantine lockdown thing we're all experiencing. Uh, if you are just like spending your time how like working whenever you feel like working, waking up whenever you feel like waking up, that's a pretty good recipe for procrastination and depression. You might find that if you're doing whatever you feel like, you might end up, I don't know what your bad habits are, but you might end up indulging in your bad habits a little bit too much. I don't know if that means eating or drinking or smoking too much pot or playing too much video games or whatever it is. You might fall into some bad habits if you're just doing whatever you feel like doing and hoping to get to your math homework when you get to it. It's really important to have a routine, like waking up at the same time every day, getting some exercise. It is okay to run around the neighborhood as long as it's not crowded. Um, that's what I'm doing a lot, is going on lots of runs. So I hope that you are yeah. Um, Keeping a regular schedule, write it down on a piece of paper, and then stick to it. Include some exercise. Remember to include time for breakfast and stuff, and take showers. All that stuff is important. All those regular routines will help ward off the depression. Is my advice. So, and hopefully statistics is a big part of that. Should be something like 10, 12 hours a week total you should be scheduling for statistics time. Um, so, all right, so that's the online course. I will be in the Confer Zoom office hours Monday morning. You're probably watching this Monday morning because it's already kind of late. Uh, and I hope to see everybody there. Have a good day.